and for our mindfulness meditation together, allow me to invite you to let your body be physically still. Find a nice, comfortable position and just be still as you can, as still as you can comfortably be. Allow your body to find its own breath. Just nose, tummy breathing, in and out through your nose, the tummy rising and falling gently all by itself. And with your eyes closed and your mind awake, in mindful meditation, we use the mind as a powerful tool. We use it consciously and deliberately. And the invitation in this meditation is for you to explore and deepen your understanding of making conscious choice about the way you feel emotionally. And the specific circumstance that I'd like us to explore together is a situation where someone, possibly something, has acted in a disrespectful way to you, a hurtful way to you. No doubt an incident has come to mind, probably. It doesn't matter if it hasn't. We can explore this together just as thought. And allow me to invite you just for a few seconds to remember, if you can, the emotion of hurt, the feeling of hurt. Just for a few seconds, just to remind yourself of what that feeling feels like. And just notice where you felt it in your body. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to switch it off and we're going to explore some thought around that emotion. Okay, so letting go of that emotion now, let me offer you some questions for you to ask yourself. And the first question I'd like to offer you is simply, would it be okay with you if from now on, if anybody was to say something hurtful or harsh, disrespectful to you, would you like it if you could choose not to automatically react with hurt, the feeling of hurt? Would that please you? Would that be something that you think would be useful, that you would find empowering, strengthening, and enabling? Okay. My next question is, if you were to make this choice and to choose not to feel hurt, but another emotion instead, a positive emotion or maybe a neutral one, would that be detrimental in any way? Would that be a negative thing in any way? Would that bring harm to yourself or anyone else in any way? Okay. Now, coming to your own experience of life, there may have been, in fact, there probably has been times in your life when you have, for example, said something to someone and it's hurt their feelings, and you had absolutely no intention of hurting their feelings at all. My question is this: where was that coming from inside you? There was no deliberate intention or desire to hurt anyone's feelings. But what you said did. Somebody's feelings were hurt. Was that coming from a conscious, deliberate decision on your part? Or was it a knee-jerk reaction on your part, an automatic subconscious response to something that had either happened or something had been said? The chances are that you're now recognizing that you too sometimes act spontaneously from your brokenness, from the parts of you that are not perfectly evolved, and as learning beings, as children, as students of life, and as meditators, we acknowledge that we are students and that there are parts of us that are definitely still evolving and therefore not yet arrived at a full state of happiness and contentment and well-being within us. Now that you've recognized your own, and I'm sure this probably wasn't the first time you've recognized that, in your wisdom, in your intelligence, and in your self-awareness, let me offer you another question. When somebody else is acting out of their brokenness and saying harsh words to you, how does your insight into their brokenness, their broken behavior, their hurting behavior, their unevolved behavior, how does that insight help you to be free of the feeling of hurt inside you? Okay. I'd like to offer you some thoughts. If you like these thoughts, if you like this direction of thought, this train of thought, you can adapt it as your own, adopt it as your own, and use it as a tool to help you consciously choose how you feel emotionally inside your body when events happen around you. There was an amazing book written that we all know of. And in that book, it said, and still does, forgive them for they know not what they do. And the forgiveness is the release, the letting go of the feeling of hurt inside you. That's what the forgiveness is. And that feeling of hurt inside you can dissolve in an instant. The moment you recognize the other person's, many words for it, brokenness, pain, misunderstanding, or perhaps even more precisely, their broken story, broken narrative. Now, allow me to invite you to ask you again, to offer you this question, for you to ask yourself once more, would it be okay with you? Would you like it if you could find a philosophy, a way of thinking, a train of thought, a concept, an idea, a way of perceiving, an insight that helps you for the rest of your life either dilute or completely remove the feeling of being hurt when people act out of their hurt towards you? If that sounds like something really useful and powerful that will strengthen you and empower you and bring more happiness into your life, then spending a few moments discerning quite precisely as you can, why that person has said what they've said. I think you will discover each time that you do that the hurtful words come from that person's brokenness, that person's pain, that person's misunderstanding. The story of life inside their mind that we all have is such that it drives their words without them making a conscious and deliberate choice, just as sometimes it might do with you. And we all do this. We all have a story that is given to us, not of our choice, but we are given a story by life as we grow from baby to about the age of 7 or 8. By the time we get to 7 or 8, we already have a given story, a gift from life of a story about who we are and what life is like, what we should or shouldn't do. The story is complex. And when we speak harshly to others, those words and those actions come from the broken part of that story, the part of our story that doesn't work, that's dysfunctional, that's not based in positive, healthful thinking. And in your journey as a meditator, I hope this meditation has offered you some questions, some ideas, some answers, and maybe even some more questions. Allow your mind to think about these thoughts over the next few days. And I hope, my intention is for you to arrive at a decision to be free, to empathize, and to have insight, and to use discernment wisely in those moments. And as we arrive gently at the end of our mindfulness meditation, allow me to invite you to notice the light coming in through your eyelids, the feeling of your body weight in the chair, on the floor, on the ground,